Okay, going through your arm. Yeah, so we're just holding that one for a few seconds. And you definitely feel it right about where your armpit is. And then we'll do the swap and we'll do it to the same side. So same again. In line with the shoulder, keeping the foot forwards and pushing. Ready to do that? So opposite leg to your arm. Elbow in line with your chest. Just stretching forward. Yeah, don't want to put too much strain on your back there though, but you want to be able to feel it in your neck, in your chest, through your body. Hold that one for a few more seconds. Nothing too uncomfortable there. Have you enjoyed today's session? Yeah. Okay. Are you ready to schedule your next one? Get into the next one? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, cool. So we'll just get you to swap to the other side now. Yeah, once again, opposite forward and pushing. Yeah? Yeah. But you're not going to feel it as harshly tomorrow. You're going to feel too sore. You might feel a little bit uncomfortable because you've used muscles that you might not have beforehand. Because coming to the gym is a bit of a different environment, a different workout on your body. But it shouldn't be anything that causes severe pain. I think you're good there. You finished doing that stretch. Yeah. Well, thanks for today's session. I'm happy to see you next week. Thank you. So, as a personal trainer, there are some things that you need to consider as far as your clients go, and these are specific populations. So this is when a client has a specific medical condition. These can include asthma, hypertension or arthritis, but they're not limited to these medical conditions. So in terms of asthma, you would need to identify what sort of medication they take, whether it's a Ventolin, and do they need it during the session and is it easily accessible. You want the client to be able to trust you in these things, just in case you need to help them with that. It's important to know what things trigger these, like is it cold air or dust or is it sports related, and you'll need to modify your sessions so that it's low exposure to these causes. So you got to know any signs and symptoms. These can include coughing, wheezing or tightness in the chest. And be aware that you need to cool down and cool up appropriately so that you don't cause any harm to your client. So with hypertension, what you would want to be looking for again is the medication. You want to avoid any exercises that include rapid posture changes, and you don't want them to be holding their breath during any exercises. And it's also important to stay away from heavy weights, as these can be very severe to their condition. And you want to work at a slow, moderate pace with a full range of motion. You'd never want to put your client in a situation where they can harm themselves if it's not necessary. And with arthritis, much like the others, asthma and hypertension, you want to make sure that you identify what it is, whether it's inflammation or stiffness or whether it causes pain, and you need to know what area it affects. So it could be your joints or your wrists or your knees. And you want to know if they take any medication, because medication can be something that affects how the client performs during an exercise or a session. So what you want to do is you want to plan the exercise that's suitable and that avoids this area of discomfort, and so that it doesn't increase any pain. Generally, it's low impact exercises for this in resistance and it's lightweight. However, and you've got to make sure that it's appropriate warm-ups and cooling down. You do want to make sure that you can encourage them to tell you if they're experiencing any pain during a session, because you never want them to feel as though they can't tell you that it is hurting them. So that's how to deal with people of specific populations.